Rachel here with Bailey and Ruby. We are going to be practicing our heel today, and we're going to be working with both of them in this video because I'm sure when you walk your dog, you don't walk them individually, and we want to make sure that they're both heeling nicely when they're walking on the leash. So, to make sure that we don't set the dogs up for failure, each dog has their own handler, and we want to make sure that with that individual handler, they can pay attention, heel nicely, and then we can see about possibly walking them together. In the future, during a video, we just want to make sure that we have all of those basic commands cemented before we graduate to things like walking them on harnesses together with distractions or something like that. So, you want to do one of them first?
Let's try it together first.
Okay, so we'll try it together first, and basically what we do, ask our dog to heel. Of course, we want to make sure that they maintain their focus on us, and one of the main ways to get your dog to snap out of whatever they're looking at or anything like that is slap on the leg. You can say heel, and then they should be following you, not pulling or off to the side or dragging behind you, but right in that heel position. And when you stop, they should also stop and sit as well. And because they're both food motivated, it would be a great idea to have some treats for them, keep them motivated, and really keep them focused on the task at hand, which will be the heeling. So I guess we'll start from the back here, and we'll continue on from there.
Seems to get a bit more distracted than Bailey does, which is why I kind of wanted us walking together at first so she can get used to Bailey being somewhat near her, and hopefully that will make the transition a little bit easier. They both are food motivated, and I can tell they do want to please us because you'll see that they'll both kind of look to each of us and swap who they're looking at depending on who they think might give them the food. So that's good. However, you want to make sure that you really keep their attention. Okay, so I think we should do a little bit of heeling separately first, where they aren't necessarily distracted by the others. I think Bailey should start first, since she seems to have a little bit better focus than Ruby does at times. So we're going to step right over here. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Hey, got it. Good girl.
All right, so Bailey sees Ruby. She wants to go over and say, hi, what you doing over there? Who you with? I want to walk with you. You got any food? But she's doing really, really well heeling. There was a small piece of food that made it to the ground, and she sure spotted it. She did a really, really great job of leaving it, ignoring the food, continuing on her, continue practicing her heeling. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, so we're gonna walk right by Ruby. Good. Sit. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Or Bailey. Got him so close to mixing them up. Leave it. Good girl. Good girl. All right, so Bailey listened really, really well. Walking by Ruby, she did a great job of doing her best to ignore her. And we'll see how Bailey does on the sidelines here while Miss Ruby is walking.
Okay, so because Ruby and I were just kind of relaxing off to the side, Ruby was really watching Bailey and Nicole the entire time. So I'm kind of interested to see where her focus will be. Bailey is especially food motivated. You can see she was always looking up at Nicole and sitting right away, so that's really great to see. That's exactly what we're striving for. So let's see how Ruby does. Ruby, sit. Good girl. All right, already good eye contact. I like to see that. Right. You. Okay, she's doing pretty well. She's not pulling, which is good. If anything, she's lagging a little bit. That tells me she kind of wants to do her own thing. She heard a couple cars starting up, so she was kind of looking over there, and when she would hear the car start, she'd kind of stop. However, she is really easy to correct, just with you know, a little pull and a slight tug as a correction, and I just repeated the heel command as a reminder of what she should be doing, and she did a really good job. And now even coming up here, she's doing a good job at not getting overly excited about Bailey. When we were practicing earlier, if they would get too close, she especially would kind of charge towards Bailey and want to start playing. So let's do a little bit more healing with her and see how she does. I'm going to try to take her in some different directions. So Ruby, heel. Heel. Good girl. Good heel. Heel. Good job. Now, one of the reasons why it's really important to practice the heeling separately like this is when you put the dogs in a heel, it's different than the loose leash walking. It's a lot more controlled. And so you're putting them in a heel because you want more control over them. And you really want them to practice the commands separately so that when they're together and when you need that control of them, they aren't all excited about each other and they don't start playing or wrestling with each other or anything like that. Ruby, come here. Good girl. Now, I'm going to heel Ruby down to the end and have Nicole heel Bailey that way, and we're going to cross in the middle. And now, usually, of course, you will be walking your dogs together, but this is a way to just kind of get some distraction in there because obviously they're best friends. So this will kind of simulate passing another dog and them being excited and wanting to play. We still want to have control. So here we go with that. Ruby, heel. 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 Okay, here we go. Heel. Heel. Good girl. Good heel. Good girl. Good heel. Heel. Yep. Good girl. Heel. Good girl. Good girl. Good heel. Good job. Okay, so what I'm kind of seeing with both of them is when we start to get a bit closer, they actually kind of start to lag. So honestly, that's better than them pulling and jumping at each other right away. From seeing Bailey and Ruby play a lot, I know that they both kind of like step back and then charge at each other. And it seems like they're both kind of doing that. So don't let them get away with lagging. You want to really pay attention to their body language, especially if you're passing another dog that they want to initiate play with. Don't let that happen. So use leash corrections, repeating the heel command, slapping your leg, snapping your finger, something like that. All right, they did a really great job, and I'm really happy to see how they do individually. Remember, it's important to work with them individually to build that good foundation before you ask them to do it together with one handler. This was Rachel and Nicole with Bailey and Ruby, and we are working on heeling.